There we go. We should be all up and running. Hello again, folks. Welcome back to the next stream. We're going to be continuing our little journey with Coloring Voxels here again. We're going to be playing through the volcano world. As you can see here, we've locked the other two worlds now, so we're going to continue with volcano. Obviously, this is our most completed one. It's nice and finished and polished. Got all the VFX in, so I think I'm going to play for a little while, and then Lee's going to take over as well. So obviously, we're not going to repeat the same thing. So I think I'll jump in now. Get the chat up real quick. There we go. I hope it's working this time.
I think you need to update the chat again.
I need to update it again.
Yeah.
Did you put howdy?
Yeah.
I can see it, it's fine.
Can you stay in the actual... It's not on stream, is it?
Oh, I mean in the actual UI.
Big delay, bear in mind.
No, you need to update everything so far. So.
How does one do that again? Is it...
You need to create a new thing again. So plus like...
Oh, just create a new... Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. Let me try and remember how to do that. Delete. Remove. Just going to update the chat here, folks, as it needs updating every time. Is it browser, isn't it, Lee? Chat. I think I just got to copy the link and hopefully it's that simple. If not, I'll do my technical supervisor come over, but I think I've got it. There we go. There's Lee's howdy. Cool, and we'll just crop it a bit. Oh, I can't crop it, can I? There we go. I won't make it stretch, don't worry. May look a bit there, maybe a bit hard to read if I do that. So I'll just put Lee in there. There we go.
No, you want to resize the properties, not by doing that.
How do you resize it properly? Just they crop it down?
No, right click properties and then...
Oh yeah, of course. 470 by 580. 470 by 580. Thick check. Exactly. There we go. I'll just pump it up a little bit. Make it a bit easier to read. And there we go. Should be all good now. Perfect. Right. Cool, so I think I'll start off. I think I did the volcano first last time. I'm not going to do that again. Let's go. Let's go ruins. I like the ruins one. Where's that one? There we go. Start with ruins. It's a nice big centerpiece to start with. So I'll start with that one. Like I said, I'm not sure how long it'll take us to get through the actual world, but once I've completed it, I'm pretty sure Lee's going to jump in just after me. He's going to do his own run. Probably way faster than I'll do it, but it's not a competition. Trying to stop myself humming over the over the music. It's quite hard not to do it. I'm definitely a hummer when it comes to music. I'll try to restrain myself. Like I said, so far, definitely it's definitely my favourite art style of all the levels so far. I don't know what it is about the style. I think it's just the colour palette. The colour palette's really nice. Been doing quite a lot of work on the dungeon one today, but even then, I'm still quite good at this one. There's a snooze from up, bless you. I think it's still my favourite one, to be fair. To be fair, it's a good thing because it's one that's fully done, so it works out for me. But I just much prefer the colour palette on this one. I think they all have their strengths. I think the dungeons levels have been really fun because everything's different, but I think this one's main strength is it's definitely its colour palette. It makes it stand out significantly from the other 3 or 4 so far. I said if I give the demo a try yourself, please do have a little go of it yourself, and please do adjust the game if you fancy giving it a try on full release. I should probably just zoom out more really, but I quite like panning around the screen. Sorry, itchy eye there. I'm also on alert because there was a wasp in here somewhere. Not sure where it is. It's been a bit quiet, but it's definitely in here somewhere. Although Lee did have the windows open. He should shut them for the stream, so maybe locked it down. If we're so lucky. Already getting quite hot in here. Actually, when it comes to the stream event, we've got to turn the aircon off because it's right above me. It's like right there, so it'll be blasting down the mic. Obviously, there's always drama going on outside this office. There's always people shouting and sirens and loud buses going by. So we've got to shut the windows as well. So it gets hot in here very quickly. It's quite a hot day today as well. I think it's like 23 degrees. So. I'm sure it'll be fine. Probably not the right day to wear a hat, but here we are. The police are patrolling, guys, so hopefully no drama. Hopefully indeed. Getting to the portion here where we're gonna build up the mall. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure this is actually a later addition to the level. I think originally there was no mall in the ruins, but I think we wanted to add more to it later in the night. We thought that the level was a bit too simple compared to the rest of them. So artist lore added in a little mall here down the bottom, buried under the mine. Under the mine? Not the mine, sorry. The ruins. I'm saying mine because I've been modelling a mine in the other world. There's the wasp. It's in the light above me, I can hear it. Hear it buzzing around. That I'm just going insane. Hope so. Hope it's the wasp. In that case. I'm not sure whose idea it was to give like the creatures insides, but it's been sort of pulled across to all the other worlds now. As every sort of there's not as many creatures in the medieval world or that are made, but for the creatures that are there, they all do have insides now. I'll imagine that'll be a continuous theme that the rest of the world is. So we are quite enjoying being able to build the insides to, you know, buildings and I don't know, vehicles or ruins like this, but or the ground especially. I wonder if the mic's picking that up. That was quite loud. The wasp was very loud there. Of course it would be right above the stream PC. Where else would it be? There it is. It's above Bob's right now. I think we may have made a mistake closing the windows. We've trapped a wasp in here with us. Can only imagine the more hotter it gets, the more agitated it's going to get. You may be bearing witness to a wasp sting live on stream. Please no. Be kind, wasp. Be kind. I should be safe, to be fair. The two drinks I've got next to me are 0 sugar. It's got no interest in them. So hopefully we're going to be okay. I'm gonna watch this VOD back, and you're not gonna be able to hear the buzzing whatsoever. It's just gonna sound like I'm insane. It's definitely sort of a animal-rich world. This one. The mole's far from the only animal in this world. There's a giraffe, there's birds, all sorts. I'm not sure if that was sort of the original intention behind that, because I know originally, obviously, it's a volcano world, and that was always the plan, but I'm not sure if the animals were a later addition, because in a weird way it does feel quite cruel filling this world up with creatures, considering there's an active volcano. Feet away from where they are, but I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, there's a crocodile bathing in lava, so we'll just, you know, reality's a bit in question as it is. It's definitely got some fantasy elements here. Here we go. I think we're starting to build in the edges of the ruin here. You'll see the particle effect starting to pop off of there as well. I'm sure it'll pop in a second. Come on, there we go. There we go. There's the last layer of the mole. The ruins level, I'm pretty sure is one of the bigger ones in this world. Volcano obviously being the biggest. As it should be. It is the centerpiece of the world. I think ruins one of the other big ones. And typically, the way I go is that I always start with the little ones and build the big ones later, but I thought I'd try to do the reverse here. Have a look. There is a hole there, which we are aware of. That's already been noted down. In the next round of fixes, I'll catch that. Hopefully there'll be no extra notes to take today. But that's it. We did stream on Tuesday and Wednesday for quite a while, and we picked up quite a lot of things. A lot of them for medieval, which have already sort of those fixes already started to take place now, so that world should be brand as new soon. During these next 2 streams, give us a good chance to do some extra QA. Obviously, we had the volcano world as well, which is our finished piece, but give us a chance to get a look at the other ones, see if anything could be caught, and we caught quite a lot. That's good. I think why. I was the question why the mole, the mine. How about the first time? The mole has chose to bury itself under what seems to be a sort of a run-down ruin. Seems like a bad idea, really. You don't want this thing caving in, don't you? Don't want that at all. But I'm sure the mole knows what it's doing. Just repeated all of your chat again for some reason. Sure. Sure. How many cans of pod do you have today? Only 2 a day. I try to slow it down considering last time I drank like 4. Which is weird, because I thought it'd be okay. The first stream I did, I only drank 1. And I was like, well, I'll bring a few over just in case. I didn't know how long I was going to go for the Tuesday, and then I went on a bit longer than usual, so I definitely went through a bit more. I didn't drink 4 like in one stream, but During the day I had 4, which is quite a lot for me. I usually have about 2. Like 1 can last me a while. Didn't on Tuesday. There we go. I do love the falling leaves from the trees. Adds so much more life to it. So much we can do with particle effects in future worlds too. Lots of things to experiment with. I've been quite keen on doing sort of like a rainy world, so it's constantly raining. That would be a really cool effect. Look at the elephant. So I've just speedrunning this one. I say that then immediately slow down. There we go. Oh. Only problem with this level, I find, obviously it's not a bad thing, but the tusks are almost exactly the same colour as the background. And I don't know how I've done that. It takes skill to get it almost the identical hex code as the background. I've tried to get an angle where you sort of can't tell it's there. There! It's quite mad. It's an optical illusion. So any VFX on this one? Oh, there is. Cool. The animals all do blink as well. Rob did some extra work on the VFX to get those to work. I actually joined up to the ruins as well. We'll go this way around. We'll go for the duck next, and then we'll do the crocodile. I genuinely forgot I was making a duck there for a second. I thought it was a bear. I don't know why. There's not even a bear in this world. I had convinced myself that I was doing a bear. Don't know if I've done that. The heat's already getting to me apparently. We'll do our trusty crocodile here. One of definitely the biggest piece of feedback that I found for Coloring Voxels is that don't hold back on the deal. There's quite a lot of instances. You can sort of see here where it's been added in. A lot of this world originally was sort of flat coloured, so there wasn't much shading or detail. As we're sort of like learning from colouring pixels, don't want to go overboard. They can make it a bit frustrating to play. But in this one, it's quite the opposite. It's you can add as much detail as you want, really. Obviously, let's not go insane, but it is a voxels game. But you can definitely add a significant amount more than you can coloring pixels, which has been very nice for me, to be fair. It's a nice change to go to. Sort of jumping from coloring voxels to pixels. It's two very different sort of styles of artwork. I thought they would be quite similar, to be fair. So I thought it would it'd be quite samey, but it's not, to be fair. Coloring pixels, I've sort of got to watch the color counts and things like that, but it's quite the opposite in coloring voxels. You can sort of just add what you want. It's been one of the big pieces of feedback for the dungeon world. Obviously, Rob started it long before sort of did any QA, any feedback and things like that. So a lot of the earlier levels quite flat in colour, which was fine, but we want to sort of build up a bit more playtime, and obviously be a bit more ambitious with the levels themselves. So I've been going through them and just sort of adding lots more detail, which has been quite fun. Takes a lot of the stress off of having to sort of build a full level. I can sort of be like, okay, let's add some. For example, I think Rob did a library level in the dungeon, and I sort of just added more detail to the books and the shelves. Quite easy to do, easy fix. Having add more as the primary piece of feedback is not a bad thing at all. Building up the bridge here, sort of like a troll under the bridge situation here, but it's something arguably worse. It's a crocodile. I think I would take my chance with a troll than a crocodile. I can't see myself taking a crocodile. Not really a troll either, but but I'd rather fight it on ground on my turf. I'm not going in the water with a crocodile. In this case, lava. My chance is even more slim. In that case. Oops. No, the snake. I was going to do the giraffe because that's my favourite one, but I'll save it for a bit later. Snake level's definitely a bit on the larger side, at least in terms of this level, this world, sorry. Let's say by far the biggest one is the volcano. Trumps the other ones by a long shot. I was gonna say I haven't heard that wasp in a while, but somehow the wasp's returned. See here the sort of the original sort of aesthetic for the grass here, which was sort of just, it was just a block of green grass, at least for my worlds as well. I'm not sure how much it was already incorporated into this, but you see that a lot of rocks have been added and things like that. So just build in a bit more of design. Obviously underground it wouldn't just be dirt, there'd be all sorts of materials down there. And I went maybe a bit too hard on that. On the medieval DLC there's quite a lot of gravel and gold and things down there. Maybe even some buried treasure. But it's all nice for the player to find and explore those worlds. Like I said, a plain world, sort of like on the surface, it may look a bit plain, but underneath maybe some little stories and secrets to find there. One of the fun things I did for the dungeon world is sort of, on the surface it kind of looks like a normal sort of, you know, sort of looter shooter, each room, dungeon, a spooky library, things like that. But as soon as you start to descend down further, you can find some extra spooky things. And there's a room past the boss room that has a little sort of D&D sort of Easter egg in there, which I'm hoping a few people will spot. There you are. Just in the process now of sort of updating a few levels, and then the dungeon world should be ready for QA. So it'll be good to see, you know, if we need to add any more or take away. I doubt it'll be take away, but I'm definitely adding more maybe. Wasp level 1. An insect buck wouldn't be too bad, I don't think. No spiders though. I'm not doing a spider. That's where I draw the line. I draw the line at spiders. I'm not tackling with a rogue arachnid. I'm not doing that. See our little snake here? Sticking out his tongue. I'm sure it'll blink as well. There you go. Good timing. So you should definitely do a Honey Shrunk the Kids kind of, where everything is grand scale, just avoiding doing special people afraid of them are more dramatic than other phobias. One of those things where I don't think I've got a phobia with spiders. Like, I can be in the same room with one, but like I'll be violently uncomfortable. Spider with a knife, that's what you gotta be waiting for. Grounded, yeah, they're too grounded. I always remember my first experience on Grounded, which was my partner was playing with us and just saw some red things and looked past, you know, looking at some red eyes that you could see through the blades of the grass, and then immediately was jumped by a giant huntsman spider. So that was the end of that, pretty probably. Until we got geared up and were able to survive. That game was harsh. Very harsh. Good game, but very harsh. Those spiders are nasty. There's our little snack boy. our danger noodle, sort of coiled around the. I'm guessing these are ruins as well, right? Was it a temple? Maybe a temple? I don't know. One of the two. It's definitely got like an Aztec sort of theme to this level. That's sort of wired around in some levels. At least what I take from it. The architecture for sure is very Aztec-y. Which I quite like. I don't do the what is the plan right now? Why not? I really like the plane level. It's one of those levels where it's sort of, you know, so I sort of went above and beyond. Could have just modelled a plane, but it's sort of been modelled in a way where it's run down and sort of rustic, covered in dirt, so it looks like it's been there for a long time. I really like that style. It's sort of like a modern era, not modern era, to be fair. So it looks like a sort of Spitfire sort of plane to me, but recent era plane in sort of an Aztec jungle almost. So it's quite a weird theme we've got there, but sort of a combination of themes. But they do come together and make a pretty cool level. Cool world, sorry. I always get mixed up on those two words, I'm not sure why. It would be quite, you know, expanding on Lee's idea there, be quite cool to have a Honey the Shrunk the Kids sort of world, because it'd be quite cool to have like sort of like bugs that have sort of encampments built upon them. So like having a giant, I don't know, beetle that has a little camp on its back, so it carries people around. That'd be quite cool model. Should be getting to the plane here real soon. Hello Hybrid, how you doing? Welcome back. How was you today? Here we go. Starting building the plane now. Ooh. I occasionally do that where my finger slips from the left trigger to the right, so I end up just panning around. Sort of like the mustard sort of colour palette this plane has. It reminds me a lot of like Rust, like the aesthetic of it. Got some of that unicorn iron brew that was mentioned on a previous stream. It's pretty good, tasty bubblegum. Really? I'm not really keen on bubblegum drinks. We've got some here in the office and I tend to avoid them like the plague. But as long as you like it, that's all that matters. I've got my classic one here. But it's not classic, it's extra. Even though it's not really extra. it's less because there's no sugar in it. I wonder why they call it extra. Kind of confuses me. There's our smoke VFX popping in. We love that effect. We love them both, to be fair. Obviously just improves the sort of aesthetic that this plane has run down. And is in no state. Absolutely no state to take back off again. To be fair, even if it was, I was not sure I would trust it. Definitely one of those levels that shows off a lot of the VFX. Should be some sparks here in a sec. There we go. You saw it just before the it reran the time lapse. Okay, what are we up to now? I actually got more lost to do than I thought it. Let's get these two done because I sort of want to circle back to the volcano. So I want to do it like this to the volcano. Don't have these two last, so we'll do the boat first. We'll get that built in. What kind of bones these are under the ground here? Obviously, there's you know, typically when you see bones under any surface, you typically think dinosaurs. But these animals themselves are already quite big. So I suppose in this world it could be anything. Sure, it's never actually confirmed that these animals are big in this world. It's just my headcanon, considering the human-esque boat that is in the scene. It's very small compared to the actual animals in the world. Like the boat is the size of, maybe like 3/4 the size of the lion. It's either a very small boat or it's a very big lion. So technically, we've already got sort of like a Honey Shrunk the Kid situation here. Here's this fish that confused me in the last stream. Like I said, I will be adding eyes just to sort of lock in that sort of fish look, because originally I did think it was a plant, but now looking at it, I think it's some form of manta ray or something like that, or some form of ray. Someone's jumping out outside. That music's blasting through the walls. There you go. Don't tend to look for the numbers specifically, they sort of just find me. I'll just move my mouse around and they'll just turn up. Oh, it shocked me when I do that. It's not like a jump scare sort of shock, but it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down. Speaking of the boat, we should be building it here soon. Then we put the next layer. Now one more layer. Even then, you've got to consider this fish is massive compared to this boat. It's like one of those giant catfish. Sounds like that wasp is having a bit of a rough time up there on that light. Oh, he's out. Please don't sting my legs. As I did see her fly down. I was that saying of they're more afraid of you than you are of it, but I don't buy that for wasps. Wasps are way too confident for their own good. I don't think a wasp could care less if I'm scared or not. There we go. I'll open this can away from the mic. There we go. Opening can ASMR. We've had lucky ASMR today. We've had can ASMR, we've had wasp ASMR, and we've had Rob sneezing ASMR. I'd cross street to avoid the wasp sim here, yeah. There's once at a bus stop. That's the whole story. No, I'm joking. There's once at a bus stop and there was a wasp there. And I literally walked away, like, far up the street, and the wasp followed me. I don't know what it wanted. Maybe it wanted my money. Maybe it wanted my bus pass. I don't know. But that wasp would not leave me alone. Problem is, if you take out one wasp, the rest of them come for you. So you got to leave them alone. The wasp squad is alerted if one of the wasps is harmed. Switch changes have been made at the volcano world. Nothing in this build. I didn't want to break the demo. No pushes, no fixes have been pushed to this build. Like I said, at risk of not wanting to break the demo, but there's been quite a few things that we've caught on during the past few streams we've done, and they've all been noted down for fixing. As I said, I've made a few passes over the medieval world. I've done some of the dungeon world sort of fixes, and next up will be the volcano. Actually, if I follow these, all those fixes that were found will be implemented. I don't think it was so much fixes. There was a few holes on the ruins world level, sorry, and there was, I think we needed to add a bit to some other worlds. So it's not bad feedback at all. Quite easy stuff to catch on to, and I'll be addressing them as soon as I wrap up these other two. Oh, my favourite bit, here we go. That's some good stuff. How come the can's so far away? I've got to reach for it. Oof. What have we got left here? We've got a few more to go. We're building up the world. Have I done? No. Of course I haven't. There's no time there. Asking myself ridiculous questions. It's very hot. You also got to put yourself in my shoes here, Rob. I'm listening to very relaxing music, and I'm very hot. It's starting to feel very nappy in here. Kim bought me a neck fan yesterday. Oh, is it one of those ones that go on your neck and they sort of like blow up like that? Like they sit here. It's almost like. Also, you got headphones on your neck. Yeah, I've seen them. I don't get that hot, to be fair. I don't get that hot to the point where I need a neck fan, but I'm not sure what it's like down at your end. Won it in the postcode lottery. Oh, alright. There's worse things to win in a lottery, to be fair. Don't know why I keep saying reconnect the chat for. I'm not too bad. But that being said, I'm wearing a white shirt and shorts here, so I'm just reflecting everything back. That wasp came for me. That wasp is right next to me. I don't know where it's back in here. It's like in my ear. Just don't move. It's fine. You'll leave me alone. I've got nothing that it wants. I thought you were meant to win 100k on the postcode lottery. Never seen them deliver funds to your door. Think about how many neck fans you could buy with that though. Google Clouds. Apparently you win. Apparently most of the time you win random things that didn't quite make the Argos catalog. I see. Every time it says reconnect to chat, I keep looking, think it's done something, like someone said something, but it just makes the chat move a little bit. It's very frustrating. I heard that wasp. It's gonna be Tom Make me the whole stream. That was a little bit of a bug when it came to actually working backwards on the medieval levels. Yes, like I said, was it Wednesday? But I actually quite enjoyed working backwards. I don't know why. I found it more satisfying to me. But everyone has their ways of working differently. But I might quite like working top to bottom rather than. Did anyone see the wasp there? Went right over my head. But yeah, I quite prefer it, I don't know why. Just satisfies that part of my brain.
Thank you.
There we go. The lion. You gonna blink that big fella? I can't prove it, but it 100% blinks when both eyes were momentarily clouded by that cactus. I just know it. Don't have too many left now. Making decent progress here. Like I said, the volcano wall alone takes about the same time it would take to do about 4 or 5 hours, so still got plenty of time here, but as for these sort of medium-sized ones, we're sort of getting through them at a pretty decent pace here. these holes here have been noted already on the treasure there. It is a possibility that the holes are intentional in the treasure, but I just think it looks a bit out of place. There's also one here too. So I can't really tell. Maybe it's just me. But to make the sort of look out of place. So I'll be filling that in. Might add some extra gems in there and stuff too. So I'll add a bit more colour. Very little additions. But will greatly benefit the feel of the world. This level in particular. What would have been funny was if I didn't say there was a wasp in here and I just kept looking up like that. Freak somebody out. Why is that dev just staring at the ceiling constantly? There's our beautiful VFX popping in there. Can't wait to start doing more with the VFX stuff. Obviously, haven't we had the opportunity yet? Yeah, really sort of get the other 50 levels that we've got sort of to like a state where they're pretty much ready to go, and then we can sort of add the VFX in. I might take this opportunity to see if the working backwards breaks in Volcano as well. Never tested that. Let's say it breaks, it just doesn't play the first one. It's not a huge deal. We'll have a look. Rob is aware of it now, so I'm sure he'll figure out how to fix that. But let's see if it's just contained in the medieval world or it's everything. I imagine it's everything, but best to be safe than sorry. Plus I quite like working backwards. I think it's because I can see it. I can see like just the singular layer. Don't know what it is about it. So I feel that I'm doing Lego. I think someone put it out on Wednesday, so you're building each part and you're putting it all together at the end. Maybe that's why I like it. I feel more at home doing it. Yeah, cool. Rob's on it. I'll do one more layer back to front and then I'll go back to the bottom. Should make a pretty interesting time lapse. Tools making tools. You're not a tool, don't be silly. Although I do appreciate the joke. I'm assuming it's going to stop, but we'll see. Yeah. But if we come back in, if we leave and go back in, it will fix itself. So the initial run, like I said, will be patch line soon. Fortunate now should work. There we go. Don't know why. So it was a satisfying time lapse to watch. Might do it for the volcano. That'll be fun to watch. Cause the volcano is huge. Making good time here. I'm not merely sort of predicted that we're doing an hour and a half each sort of. Plus we can always go longer, but that was sort of like the initial sort of base time. I've got another half hour to go, so I think I'll probably get through the levels. But also run off if not. We're not really on a time limit. But I'm making decent time. considering I'm usually notoriously slow at these. I'm not sure on this sort of style we've got here. I'm not sure if that's incorporated into all of the rivers. Of the straight lines here. I might have a look at that. I feel like someone's already mentioned that though, so maybe I got it written down. Volcano. Some highlights. My handwriting with that pen is awful. Just awful. I think they're in all the levels. In all the levels, really? Okay, yeah, we don't bother doing it then. As long as it's consistent, that's what matters. I don't think Rob fancies importing them all again. There we go. Yeah, exactly. As long as it's consistent, that's what matters. So coconuts, the two birds, and the volcano. So we'll do the coconuts, and then we'll do the volcano, and then we'll finish off with the two birds. Sort of like how the closer the river or stream gets to the volcano, the more sort of like busy it gets. Like with the rocks and a lot more detail paint, it sort of makes it look a bit more vicious, I think is the word I'm looking for, as it would be if it's fresh at the volcano. Not sure if it was an intentional sort of artistic choice or not, but it's worked out in the favour, at least. Oh. Didn't realize there was more up there. I think, no, where are these last two fours? Is this a bug? Nope, time to scroll up. It's very easy just to lose yourself in this game. I realise occasionally on stream that I'm just sort of zoning out. Which of course is the intention of the game. It's supposed to be relaxing, but it's also hard playing a relaxing game when you're streaming, because it's sort of, you know, your brain just has that sort of function of, okay, let's just time it down off for a bit. It's quite hard keeping it on. Especially in this heat as well. The game works. Exactly. Exactly. The game does work. But it's working too well. It's working too well. There you go. So where that 5 was. Providing that I get the dungeon done fairly swiftly after this. I'm in the process now of just tweaking up levels, like I said, making any quick fixes that I'll be doing. Pardon me, while Lee's sort of doing his stream. If I get that done, then I can jump onto the volcano fixes really quickly as well, because there's not really many of those, and there's not many for medieval either. So I'm hoping to get those done pretty swiftly, and then we can get those QA'd. Looking forward to starting a fresh world soon. Because I said I started medieval fresh a long time ago, and I've sort of jumped in halfway on the dungeon one. So it's gonna be nice to actually start a world, sorry, from fresh. Again, reconnect to chat. Check and beat looks over. Right, I think that's the last sort of big level to go before the really big level, which is the volcano one. So we'll get that done now. I was going to say, I don't know if there's going to be leaves falling there. I was getting a bit worried. Very simple but cozy level, that one. Right, back to the volcano. So I think for the volcano, I'm going to try work backwards a little bit. I think it'll be a sort of interesting time lapse to start there to the volcano from the top down, at least for a bit of it. So let's go at the end here. This bit's going to be satisfying. Doing the smoke. There we go. These cards are more easier for me to visualize doing it one by one, rather than being able to see the whole world. It's easier for me to focus, but like I said, everyone works different. Does that mean the volcano VFX is going to pop in straight away? That'll be odd. I'm getting to the bottom of it now. That's where the trail's going to be, going back down towards the mouth of the volcano. Is it called a mouth? I feel like it's called a mouth. I don't know why I called it mouth of a volcano, but it sounds like that would be the name of it. Ooh. We're in the actual volcano now. Oh, the VFX hasn't actually popped in. That's clever. That's intentional. If it knows I'm going back to front. Hope I haven't panicked, Rob. It's not intentional. It might be though. Is that the name of the mouth, is it? Kadiva. Sounds like a TV show about dinosaurs. Mouth is good. What does Kadiva mean? I'm very confused. I thought Rob was telling me the scientific name of the volcano. Kadiva's the dippy bit. The dippy bit. What is it like? Oh, so you don't like the actual sort of slant going in, rather than the actual hole itself. Okay. That being said, I'm not dipping my nuggets in there. The nuggets will be ruined. It's the definition of too hot. Too hot. I can't count the many times I've burnt my mouth on something like that. Caldera is an internal collapse of the crater. Right, yeah, so yeah. Like the inside, but yeah, I got you. Interesting. I used to know a lot about volcanoes back in my GCSE of geography, but I couldn't tell you anything now. I'm awake. Hi. Hello, Noah. Welcome back. You're missing a lot of good talk on volcanoes here. Starting a new podcast called Volcano Chat. It's funny, right? I make a joke, but I would watch that. I would absolutely watch that. Right, doing quite a lot of the top section there. So let's flip back and go to the start. Ooh, we're actually too far. But these bottom bits I imagine will take a little while. Hey, hello. The I'm awake part of that message makes me think you've been asleep. Once again, during my section of the stream. It's starting to feel a bit personal. Could be. It's all good, no, don't be stay, it's all good, don't worry. Hope you have a nice time in town. Like how it said, maybe get some caffeine in you. A good old monster would do the trick. Problem is, I haven't had a good monster in I haven't had a good monster. I haven't had a monster in like a while now. So if I have one now, I'm gonna be just on the roof. Like some form of creepy 6-foot red-headed spider. Be too much for my body to contain. That's true, that's true. You almost timed it quite well. Is that only 2 layers? Wow. Shaky cam. Well, it's because I'm sitting away. If I lean, it might keep it more stable, so we'll try that. We'll be getting, you know, some very high quality video of my beard here. My apologies. You've stepped a bit over that, for sure. Maybe an alarm would help. At that point you wouldn't have to hop. What you're doing there is nap roulette. It's a dangerous game. You could be asleep for 50 minutes, you could be asleep for 3 hours. It's a risky game. But I like that game. It's a good game to play. Six hours until the Pride Pack release. Thank you for the reminder. I actually need to do something like that. I need to make a little graphic for it. I was supposed to do it during Lee's part of the stream, so that's fine. Been trying to keep on top of the graphics. Used to them quite a lot back in the day, but I sort of fell off when things got quite busy with Sky's Adventure, so I'll be getting back on it now. Plus I quite enjoy making them. They're quite easy to make, they're quite chillaxing to do. As is Coloring Voxels, so please do wishlist. If anyone who's watching, try the demo. Shameless plug there, but I saw an opportunity. 4+ hours is no longer a nap. That's a sleep. That's 100% just, I am going to sleep now. A nap's an hour. I'll probably say, well, anything I would say over 3.5 hours, you're sort of just sleeping. I'd say even less than that, maybe, I don't know. 4+ hours is just definitely 100% sleep. I've slept some nights that are 4 hours.
Maybe there's another set.
Sleep broke something.
No, it's just we're trying to get there's a way to make that, like when you duplicate objects, it probably does like the underscore and then a number
oh yeah,
on naming convention. We're just trying to turn it on his editor.
Oh dear. I think these 4 layers alone for me to nap. Fair game, fair game. I won't usually sleep longer than like 6-7 hours, so 4+ is just sleep to me.
You found it, yeah, where is it?
I've searched for a number in the settings, and it's just the tick box called space before number and asset settings. It's all tick box there. So one ticked up, the other worked.
Alright, sure. Is it still doing the 3 digits as well?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Good. Maybe you did just need a refresh then? Maybe that was...
Ja, där har vi tecknat den speciellt.
Gotta say it loud enough, he won't hear you.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, hi.
There you go.
we got the setting, we got the setting. Yeah, it's so much easier, isn't it? Yeah, we need to make sure that's turned on for everyone and all projects.
Rob's hot, that's how he's doing.
Oh, thanks, Jack.
You're very welcome, mate, anytime. It's a compliment and a fact. Because he genuinely is in terms of heat. I just don't really sleep. When I do, it's 12 hours. Oh. See, those sleeps you wake up and you feel sore. So I don't really like those ones. I used to like them back in the day. I could sleep for a long time, but now I'm I used to be like, what's that saying? It's like, I used to be a night owl. Now I'm a early bird, but now I'm just like a sort of permanently exhausted pigeon. That's sort of where I'm at now. Pigeon build. Summer in terms of heat. Yeah, it is hot today. What was rubbing it in our neck fanless faces that he's got a neck fan. That maybe utilise later to cool down. That's me. What is? I think I've missed an important piece of context here. It's that hole. We'll see. Might be a part of the design. I didn't notice that last time at the volcano. Oh, the exhausted pigeon, yeah. Gonna tackle doing Japan 5 more times I get home. I hope you mean the Coloring Pixels DLC. You're not gonna like hike around Japan 5 times, I assume. That was a fun DLC. It's one of those DLCs that sound scary, but they're genuinely really fun. Ooh, not too far to go. I don't think it's intentional. Yeah, I do think it's intentional. Keeps going up. The boss is almost done. It's a hefty one. Yeah, I can imagine it is. You gotta get all that text in, right? Imagine that, you know, you have to be so limiting on the bonus levels. It's only one. It can be a big boy. Right, let's go back to the top now. We're going to switch sides again. Probably are going to go a little bit more than an hour and a half, but I'm sure he doesn't mind. To be fair, I started this world pretty much. I've been pretty consistent on it, so hopefully we can sort of see who goes quicker. They'll be like 100%, but might be close. But he's used to sort of going through QA at a fairly swift speed. He's pretty good at it. I am simply a novice. Do I switch back to the bottom level again, or just keep going? I do 2 more, and then I'll switch again. I'm in it for the time lapse. I do love how the shadow updates live as well. That's pretty insane. Oh! Something just flew straight into my eye. Wasn't the wasp, don't worry. That wouldn't be fun. I'd be panicking a bit more for once. Yeah, the time lapse, and I also like doing it top down. To be fair, I just like doing it top down. Don't mind. I said it's a thing that reminds you of doing Lego, doing bit by bit, because you can't see the rest of the world when you're doing it this way. Well, you can't. Obviously, you've done it at the bottom, but in this case, I don't know. I like doing it bit by bit. It satisfies my mind. Good thing about having glasses, we get less things flying into our eyes. You're not wrong. With our dog, that's why we've got eyelids for, just to close our eyes. But that's if it's a surprise attack by a wasp, then I suppose you're more than you're right. You have a little bit, you're right, yeah. I quite like it. Everyone's got their way of playing, I suppose, right? Oh, we're gonna switch now. I think that layer right there took longer than a single bird level. Four layers to go. Stop humming the song, John. Whoops. Went to the Coloring Pixels view there, just straight up. Almost there, just a little more. There we go. Listen, it's gonna put the. Let's just exit now because I know it's gonna work anyway. Let's have a look. Hey. So is it gonna play the volcano VFX right as it hits the middle? That's cool. That's really cool. So no matter where it completes, that's when the VFX kicks in. I like that. That's pretty cool. I wonder how the time lapse would work if you had like a piece of each layer rather than doing a full layer. So you could build it sort of like all the. I don't know how to describe it. Like you build it in sort of segments. That'll be a weird time lapse. Weird. If I can sort of test it with a bird. It's like do like half a layer. So I'll do that bit. Go at the end. That bit. Go back here. Do these bits. Go over here. I can't imagine anyone playing like this, but I'm just curious. We'll do these bits. They call him a madman. Do those bits there. I fixed the top-down issue. We did? No, it still breaks on the initial run. That was me rerunning it. Rob's will have whatever now though, so I'm assuming it'll be patched in sooner or later. It's currently hard at work making the lava editor. We'll finish it later off and we'll go back to the start. Do that one. This is going to be a funky looking time lapse. The big set might not because it's going to play so quick so it's such a tiny level. Hold on. Oh no, maybe it is working. I'll replay anyway. To be fair, it's quite cool. I quite like that. How it sort of builds up in each bit. It would be a very frustrating way to play, I imagine, on bigger levels, but little ones like that, it's quite entertaining to do. There we go. Bird. Little blink at the end there as well. And that should be, I think we're done all the levels, right? Volcano Golden. There we go. Cool. Well, there we go. That's my little playthrough of Volcano done. Assuming you're good to go, Lee. Yeah. So Lee's going to take over now, but like I said, please do give the demo a go for yourselves and please do wish us the game. It would mean a lot to us. But I'm going to shuffle away now and do some work just behind me, and Lee's going to jump in and have a go of himself. So I will see you all. Bye, Rob. I will see you all in the next stream, the normal ones. Have a lovely weekend, folks, and have fun with Lee. See you all soon.
Hello, we are back. You see that I've just went into the save files and deleted them all. Hasn't updated on the main menu, but I should update when we go into the into each level. Hello, well, welcome back, Piper. We haven't broken anything with that spell. But essentially, Jack finished Volcano World. I've just deleted these saves, and we're going to go back through and just play some more voxels. It is the last day we're going to be fully live for part of the Steam Next Fest, but the Steam Next Fest is still running over the full weekend. So if you haven't already checked out the demo, now's the time. The demo will be available until, I believe, Monday. I think that's when the Next Fest ends. So yeah, make sure you play the game before then to get the chance to play the demo and get to experience the game yourself, as opposed to just watching us play it. So as well as that, if you haven't already, add the game to your wish list. That'll be really helpful for us. And in the meantime, we'll just play through the game and we'll show it off as well. We'll have to try and remember what we've done here, because the main menu is not updated. Let me see what happens if I delete the main menu file. Can I delete the main menu file? There we go. See if that does anything. There we are. As Rob was just saying, I was having doing a wrap up for the week. It's very hot in this office, and even more so over this side of the room. I'll be sat over by the windows, hasn't been too bad. So poor Jack's been sweating over here, and I get to experience it too. Yeah, let us know if you played any other demos as well during the Next Fest, any good ones that have caught your eye. Obviously the whole point of Next Fest is to try a whole bunch of games. Just update? No. Yeah, I'll just go around in clockwise order playing through these levels, because I can't really see what we've done, what we haven't done. But one thing to note, obviously you can see me going into the files here. There one, manually deleting the save files in order to be able to play the game again. And it is something we will be adding to the game properly when it comes for release. There will be, like in Coloring Voxels, the delete button or the new game plus button for all the levels, so you can replay them normally in game without having to do any save file management yourself. So don't worry about that if you're thinking of playing the game but you're worried about the replayability. There will be buttons in the game to accommodate that as well. It's just what we have to do for now with the demo, because it isn't implemented just yet. Yeah, we're very excited to be playing through this again, mainly because this is the one world with all the particle effects in, and to me that adds so much more to the levels. So very excited to see what Jack and Rob come up with for the new levels we have. The medieval world and the dungeon world, as we've been showing off the past couple of days. Obviously those don't have particle effects yet. I'm excited to try those once they've been implemented, because it's going to add so much more life and flavour to those levels as well. At least I assume it will, because it has done for this one. I think that might be what Jack's working on right now, to be fair. Like I mentioned in the previous news as well, we do have a Patreon as well. You don't have to support us there, but if you do, you will get access to the games early. All the people on Patreon who are on the 2 highest tiers get access to the beta files for Coloring Voxels, and that will allow you to continue playing the demo even after the Next Fest is ended, because the demo will not be available at the end of Next Fest unless you have the Patreon. Unless you back us on Patreon between now and August, when the game's coming out. So yeah, if you want to keep playing the game up till release, that's the way to do it. And doing so as well will give you early access to those additional worlds as well that we're showing off, because obviously, as you can see in the Next Fest demo, all that's available is this Volcano world, since that's the one that's finished. But you'll be able to playtest all the other levels, all the other worlds that we add into the game between now and release as well, if you do want to be involved. And if Patreon's not your thing as well, but you do still want to watch the development, see where the development goes, you can do so by checking out our social medias. The links are on the store page below for Discord, Twitter, etc. Or you can follow along on the YouTube vlogs as well. We record videos every single week of our work, and we edit together a vlog to show off every Friday what we've done that previous week. So yeah, if you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can also watch videos of the actual development process as well. So all the behind the scenes, edit together a little supercut for the week. And there we go, we're seeing some of those particle effects I was on about. for the water at least. Obviously got the water texture, has a little bit of a flow to it, just to give it a bit of motion. And then we get those nice little bubble splash effects as well. Just trying to open that can as quiet as possible. Bit of ASMR for you guys. But yeah, there's no real plan for this stream. At this point we're just going to be playing through the Volcano World Chang, so if you've got any questions, anything you want to talk about, feel free to jump in the chat and let us know. Unless of course you're watching this on repeat over the weekend, which case not live, won't see your questions. But you can always ask the questions in our Discord as well. When we come back to work on Monday, we'll see your questions and we're more than happy to answer any questions you have as well. I've just reconnected to the chat. How? Let me check. Nope, chat just is reconnected to chat. Let me refresh the URL. This weekend, Rob, I'm going to a wedding, so I'm going to be wearing a suit. We have had a thunderstorm warning, so hopefully I don't get rained on in my suit. But that's my weekend, pretty much. I do. Thank you, Hypert. That looks close enough in centre. Yeah, hopefully we don't get any thunder lightning here. I didn't see any on any of the news or weather reports, but just when I logged into work today, my PC gave me an alert warning of a thunderstorm. I don't know if anything's being uploaded. I did have a weird reconnected chat, you see in the little box above my head there. The chat was reconnecting. I don't know if it was something that was causing the issue. Hopefully it sorts itself out. You can try refreshing, of course, see if that works. It could also be jack uploading something. It's not always Rob, to be fair. Yeah, maybe it's a Friday thing, maybe Steam in general is getting a lot of traffic with it being a Friday, who knows, it could be also part of the problem. But again, fingers crossed it sorts itself out. We can always restart if it gets really bad, but hopefully we don't do that because Steam broadcasting isn't as quick as retaining the viewers when you restart as something like Twitch or something is. It's a bit cloudy, but it is quite sunny and warm. Up north here. A bit of wind as well, keeps it cool. Well, I don't enjoy the wind when I'm cycling home because it makes the cycle that much harder, but fingers crossed it's not too bad today. On the topic of the weekend as well, it's also Father's Day this weekend in the UK, so a bit of a reminder for everyone, if you haven't got anything ready for Father's Day, now's the time to panic about it. It is quite humid at the moment though, which is often prime temperature, prime setting for thunderstorms. Did I pick the volcano level? I realised I think I did, didn't I? This is definitely volcano level. Oh well, we're doing the biggest one early on. I started with the bird level because it's the smallest, and then just went clockwise, which is a quick way to get to the volcano level. We'll do it the proper way though, we won't do it backwards like Jack did. Get the proper time lapse, if you will. I take a moment as well to thank everyone who has wishlisted Coloring Voxels as well. The numbers have been going up quite a lot over the weekend, not the weekend, through the week. So yeah, thanks again to everybody who has wishlisted the game. It's the best way to help us out as a small indie dev team. So yeah, it really means a lot seeing that support. Actually seeing the physical number grow, it's quite exciting to watch. I mean, I guess we could order the levels by size, but I think Piper, maybe Kai, someone recommended or suggested, why not, if we can try and line up the cards with the levels on their world, that would be ideal. But I know the nature of some of the worlds, like the birds, for example, they're in the middle and they're flying, so they're not really where you can position that easily, is there? So probably not feasible. And they do spin. That's a good point. It's a tricky one as well, because even if you do put them order by size, you can spin the menu round, and at that point you don't know where the beginning is. So, just doesn't really matter at that point either. But logic tells me some sort of ordering would make people happy, so something to think about, I guess. We've got until August to decide that. I instinctively, because I've been testing Whoop today, I've been instinctively trying to go for the BOSD keys to move the camera, but obviously it's not in yet. But I think it's going to be such a good thing to test out. So a bus got struck by lightning, hope everyone's alright. I mean, I'm sure Mythbusters did the thing where they, might even just been Top Gear, where electrocuting a car is perfectly safe as long as you don't touch the sides. Well, that's good. So now that I think about it, I don't think I've actually physically seen something getting struck by lightning before, with my own eyes anyway. Like I've seen videos of it and stuff, like the video of the Time Bridge being struck a few years back, but I don't think I've ever physically seen lightning strike something. Probably because I'm always indoors as soon as it starts to rain, but you know. I do once remember seeing a wall of rain approaching us. We were on top of some hill on a day out with my family, and it was cloudy in the distance, and I could physically see the rain falling in the distance, and it was getting closer. And I told my dad the rain's coming, and he was like, didn't believe me. And then within like a couple of minutes, it was absolutely pouring down rain because I could see the rain coming towards us from the distance, from the top of this hill. That was a very interesting thing to see. Yeah, it's probably one of those phenomena where you need to be looking right at it at the right moment for you to see it, see the impact, right? If you blink, you'll miss it. Looking at these bits of like water, tiny waterfalls going down, make me think we need air level with a big waterfall, and then we do a nice splashing particle effect right at the base of the waterfall. That'd be that's something that should be quite aesthetically pleasing. If I'm playing through this game, is always gets me thinking about what else we can make with it, which is very good. Don't know if it's the same for you when you try it out, Rob. Or anyone else for that matter. If you're playing the game and you think this is a good idea, maybe if they try making one of these, let us know. We're open to ideas. Even if it doesn't have to be a full world theme, it could just be a level idea, something as simple as a waterfall with a particle effect. If you think of something that you think would look quite nice, let us know in the Discord. I'm sure we'll be taking it into account depending on what we're making at the time. I read that as Domino's pizzas, but yeah, sure. I think anything in the a grand scale would be quite good. Like, so we've got a giant group boat, but we were mentioning in the chat earlier the whole like grounded or Honey I Shrunk the Kids theme would be quite good. We've got like giant insects, giant fruit, everything in high detail. So you can even do the classic worm and an apple sort of thing as well, because you're obviously building everything from the inside out. You can put the worm, stick it through an apple, and you can fill it in all the way through. Or you colour in the banana inside the peel, that'd be quite good as well. I think this relaxing music mixed with the warmth of today is definitely at risk of making me feel sleepy, which is make me glad it's a Friday. And we say the game making me feel relaxed and sleepy is exactly what you want. We want the game to be relaxing, something you can unwind to, so it's definitely a good thing. It's just today's too warm, that's making it even more effective. Legally distinct James and Giant Pizza, of course, but yeah. It'd be worth looking into what sort of like fairy tales and stuff are available to make, because we could like, so like Jack and the Beanstalk would be a fantastic diorama we could make, that sort of stuff. Some sort of castle up in the clouds with a giant and that sort of thing. Shrek, yeah, just a big swamp with an ogre. When I say theatre, my mind is into like pantomime. I don't know if I was like out of mind. But there's lots of like behind the scenes sort of stuff. There's like all like the rope work and the big curtains and all that sort of stuff. There's lots of mechanical bits behind the scenes and under the stage and that sort of stuff. We could totally get all that put into one big saying. That'd be quite cool actually. Yeah, breathe again. Do more deal under the stage, behind the stage. People holding ropes with stuff hanging and stuff like that. Lots of intricacies you can do. The VIP boxes as well. Get to the planet's level and try and find a nice camera angle for me, just 'cause I like to look at sort of how high we're getting up. I've got just a bit of height on us now, but still want to see the numbers obviously. Took me a second to understand what you were saying there, but yeah, I get you. Yeah, I would definitely do the grounded one, yeah. I guess we can choose a setting and name it off that as well. I just need to be... The shrunken theme doesn't need to be the name of the level, because then we can leave the door open and do more shrunken levels as well. If it turns out quite good anyway, you know, if it feels really satisfying to play.
The wasp was literally on my keyboard.
Hmm?
It was like sitting on the keyboard. I was like, What's your problem, dude? What do you want?
Wasp trying to compose an email on Jack's PC.
Exactly, yeah.
What's the second word, maybe? Borrow. Did you shut the window, did you?
It's Arietti's a Studio Ghibli film, I believe.
Oh, okay.
About a small human.
The Borrowers is a great film as well.
Not sure if you've got off topic open there, Lee, but I'll put an image in there. I want to see a wasp composing email.
Do you have a Discord here? There you go. There's the wasp on Jack's desk. It's been stuck in here all day. So we opened the windows with it being so warm in here, and then he came straight in. Now he won't leave, so. There's a tricky one because we have the window shut again for the stream, because we do get lots of city centre or town centre noises outside. So try to reduce that by keeping the windows shut. But this means the wasp is now trapped in here with us. So. There we go. Now we're at the height where we can get a good camera angle to show that height off. Personally, do feel like more tall levels is definitely something we should, or satisfying. That's something we should consider going forward as well. So I personally quite enjoy them. Obviously, it's everyone's opinion that matters as well, but. This is a very satisfying section after all that detail down below. I think the little animation feels more satisfying on transparent block size as well.
Oh, my dude. My dude, please. My brother in Christ. Dude, what is your issue? Dude, what the hell is your issue? Keeps landing on the keyboard.
Jack's like 20 seconds for just like 20 seconds away from just calling it a day and going on for the weekend.
Literally.
Is that window still open or not?
Well, it's not, no.
Yeah, if we open the window, I might be able to usher it out.
There's loads of buses though.
This 2-minute task has been turned into a 20-minute task with this one. Oh my god!
Not my problem.
Sorry for the wasp rage ASMR.
I don't think the words rage and ASMR go together.
No.
Oh, I guess I can check if I beat Jack's time. I didn't think about that before. That was 5:28 for this board level. We'll see what we can do. I know he said it wasn't a race, but instantly made it one. What is this blue thing at the bottom of the boat? Is it a fish or something?
That's what I was discussing. It is a fish. I'm going to add some ice to it to make it white.
Yeah, I think she's trying to add an animal to all of them, right?
Yeah, that's quite nice. To be fair. I feel like a coral reef level might be quite good, but colouring in the entire water might be a bit of a chore. Or you can make the water transparent to see through it, but all these berries on the bush meant to be moving. It's because
No.
they share the same texture as the water.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It'd be really cool to play around with like materials and stuff a lot more. We could have like a jelly world where everything just wobbles.
Could do. I can make what like a Mario World where everything's made of sweets and candy. You just got
Yeah.
big jelly castles and stuff. Here we go. Beat Jack's time by a minute and a half. Easy. And he loves the draft world, so I'd be surprised to be this one.
You say that, no one's fine while you're going to be there.
Not even trying though, Jack. I'm just playing the game. Done the ground, so I'll do what you do to the volcano level. I'll work from the top down. The draft next goes by so quickly. It's so good. There we go. See what the animation looks like. Broke it. It's all good. Oh, Jack beat you by a second on the draft level.
Only if you put easy in the chat.
There we go. There's the new animation when you reload the level. Looks quite good actually. Watch that again. Couldn't afford your wishlist, that's fantastic. Again, thank you very much everyone who's stopping by, checking out the stream, checking out Coloring Voxels. If you haven't already, check out the demo. It's going to be live for the rest of the weekend up until Monday. I think it's like 6 PM British time. I think that works out at 10 AM Pacific roundabouts. So you've got until then to play the demo, because then after that it will not be available to play anymore. Unless of course you're a Patreon. But if you are interested in the game and want to follow along with the development, please make sure to wishlist the game as well. Very big thank you to everyone who has already, because it really helps us out as an indie dev team. And if you're still on the fence, just dropping us a little wishlist is a fantastic way to show your support and help us between now and August, when the game is going to be coming out. When the game releases in August, it will be completely free to play. That will include all 7 worlds you see on the main menu. I'll show you that when we get back there. Those will be included for free, and then there'll be additional DLC to be the exact same model as we do for Coloring Pixels. So there'll be additional DLC. We're unsure on the exact timing of when the DLC is coming out yet, not until we have a better understanding of how long it takes to develop each world. But we will be offering more and more content for those of you who really enjoy the game to keep getting more stuff to build and to colour in. So again, thank you very much to everyone who has wishlisted already. One thing I added to Coloring Voxels, I'm sure Drax already showed it off, but he picked this level before and we've spoken about it previously, is the hidden secrets we have underground. It's all on the insides of different buildings and whatnot. So, also when you finish the world, all you're going to see is the exterior of the buildings and the structures you made. But we want to make sure that the entire level is fun to play from top to bottom. So, we've added little secrets inside of pretty much all the levels. And like this one here, for example, we have this giant mole hidden inside the temple. And it's just a bit of fun, a bit of fluff for you to enjoy as you're building up this level, because once you've completely finished building this temple, you can't see the sky at all. It's completely buried inside of it. It just lives here. But you as the player, you know he's here, because you've built them. You've sort of colored them in as you were building up the rest of the level. So yeah, that's just one sort of minor change we've made to the development, just to make sure that the game stays entertaining from top to bottom for all these levels. And it also allows Jack a lot more creative freedom when it comes to his level designing as well. You can have a lot of fun just adding stuff in here and there. Got ones there. It's a bit. If you played the demo of Coloring Voxels already, you're probably already familiar with this, but if you haven't, one thing we've done as well is you'll notice here as we're colouring in the number 4s. Oops, didn't mean to spin the camera so violently there. All the other colours have greyed out, just so it makes it easier to spot what numbers you might be colouring in. And when you've got big chunks, it's kind of not a problem, but when you've got 1 or 2 cubes left to colour in, it does make it easy finding those last cubes so much easier. So for example, let's see if we can cause that to happen here. Yeah, none in this layer I think, because we're getting towards the end anyway. And we still have work to do on iterating that and making it it's more of a player choice. So we have in Coloring Pixels, for example, which is the predecessor of Coloring Voxels, there is settings to turn hints on and off. So if you want to play without any sort of hints like this, we'll be adding a setting down the line to allow you to turn this setting off as well. So you can play without any sort of help at all when colouring in the levels, if that's what you want to do. And on the same topic from Coloring Pixels, we have a FAQs page on the Steam forum, so I'm answering all the most repeated questions. One of those is the settings from Coloring Pixels. So again, if you're familiar with Coloring Pixels and there's multiple settings on there that you enjoy and you want to see in Coloring Voxels, make sure you let us know. We've already said we're going to add most of the settings, if not all of them, from Coloring Pixels in Voxels. But if there's anything in particular you think you really want to see brought across to Voxels as well, make sure you let us know so we can push it up in the priority list, because we do want to make the Coloring Voxels experience as familiar as possible to those of you who have played Coloring Pixels in the past as well. Obviously with some new iterations, like the fact we're in 3D, the fact we have nice animations and stuff, but you don't have in Coloring Pixels. We do want to make sure the game feels like a sequel, that's an improvement to the original game, whilst at the same time keeping that same level of charm that you enjoy from playing Coloring Pixels. And if you only just start watching the stream, or if you're not able to stick around to watch towards the end, and you want to see just more gameplay from the developers, we have recorded all of these live streams. This one's being recorded right now as well, and they'll be getting replayed on the Steam store page over the weekend, so you can stop by and watch it there. Alternatively, we'll be uploading them to our YouTube channel as well, where you can watch them at your leisure, whenever suits you best. So don't worry if you think you're missing out. All the footage will be available to watch at a later date, just as soon as we get that uploaded and processed on YouTube as well. So we're getting to the end of this mole's hidden den. I think the next layout too is the roof, where we will bury him inside. But he's quite happy inside there. Got his little flowers. And there we go, we'll build the roof to his little hidey hole. So as I was saying before, these are sort of little level secrets. Once you've built the level, you won't be able to see what's inside, but we've built it together here today, so we know what's inside. And as you're playing through all the other levels when the game comes out, you can keep an eye out for these little secret stories and secret hidden things that you'll only be able to find by actually playing through the levels yourself. think this is one of the main levels from when we were QA testing the very early prototypes of the game. That sort of inspired us to make sure the interiors were all fleshed out, because this level was initially just this building, this sort of ruined building, and there was nothing inside of it, it was just stone. So I've suggested to add something in the middle, fully expecting just to get some sort of brickwork or some sort of texture, but instead Laura hauled it out and put a cute little, a large mole inside instead, which is much more interesting and much more fun. So we're definitely taking that idea forward and making sure most of the levels have something hidden inside as well. There we go. That's the ruins level done as well. I think there's only a couple more of this size. I think quite a few of them are a bit smaller. Got a nice leaf, like falling leaves, particle effect in this as well, which adds a bit more life to the world as well, which is so much more. So much more interesting to the end result. And obviously we're getting spoilers here because Jack's already played them all, so we can see all the leaves and etc. that we're expecting. But yeah, the particle effects add so much more life to the end result, in my opinion. I'm sure Jack's decided to get creative with more particle effects for the future worlds as well. Yeah, if you want to see more of the developers playing games live, make sure you follow us on Twitch as well. I don't think that is linked, but you will be able to find those links on the website or on Discord or something like that. And yeah, we play or stream on Twitch every 2 weeks. Just sort of showing off what we're currently developing, so that could be more Coloring Voxels, could be some other games. It's usually some sort of development or some sort of QA, but again, it's another perfect place to stop by and just sort of chat with the developers in a more live format. Face to face, if you will. So yeah, make sure you check out that as well. I think I beat that time 1 minute too, or I didn't really check, but I think that was faster. 55 seconds for the duck, let's go. Okay, some of these animal levels are a bit smaller. For a bit of context, we're looking to get each world, so the whole volcano world is made up of 16 levels. We're looking to get the entire world to be roughly around a 2-hour playtime. I think the volcano one works out a little bit smaller than that, but that's sort of the goal for all of the worlds we're creating. So if we see some levels like this one, for example, but that are a bit smaller and a bit quicker to play, we'll compensate for that with the larger levels like the volcano. So ideally, the grand total of all the levels playtimes should equal 2 hours, just to ensure that you're getting a full experience with each world, and that when you get the free game, all those 7 worlds combined will equal enough playtime to feel like you got a full experience. So that's sort of the aim we're going for. And hopefully be able to fine tune that with every DLC or every world that we make going forward from here. Yeah, that's a quick little duck level. I'll have a look, see if his eyes blink. I believe they do. He's got a little buried chest underground as well. His eyes should blink, hopefully. Let's keep an eye on it. There we go. Little blinking. Just a little something. Again, to add that bit of motion. 57 seconds, I'm done. I can't remember what Jack's time was.
I think it's 45 seconds.
If that's the case, should my time not replace yours then? Because it says best time, but I took longer. It's an easy way to check that. I'll check it with the bird level. I know there's been a debate in the Discord as to whether this water here is water or lava. I mean, this is a debate because there's a crocodile sitting in it, but also in the in that boat level previously, there's a fish swimming in it as well. So I think it's just hot water. It's not necessarily lava, because it is a different colour to the lava from the volcano as well. But there's no right or wrong answers with this. It's all artistic interpretation, so you can write whatever story you like about the levels you colour in. But in my opinion, this is just a different coloured water. I don't think there's any real logical thought behind the colour selection for the water. It was more just fitting the colour palette aesthetic of the world in general. Because again, giving the artists just creative freedom in what they want to make when it comes to the actual levels themselves, as long as it sort of fits together and looks good together. There's no reason why we can't go a bit out there with the colour palettes, as long as the end result looks nice. So that's Rob and Jack having a nosy outside. It's one of the upsides, downsides, when they look at it, of working in the town centre, is that there's always something going on outside the window, so they want to have a little nosy, see what's going on. I find this level here is a good example of using that the layering. So I've got the crocodile sort of hidden under the bridge, but you can still see it. But the end result's just really nice. I've got like the way this level works, the way it looks. Definitely do more bridges like this. I want to hopefully get a full spin before the animation starts. We kind of got to see the crocodile's face. So if we're going to the snake level, we're going to do a little cheeky look or something. So bird 2 has a time of 15 seconds. Okay. I've realised why. Because I deleted the save file, so there is no best time. That's why. You can't replay the levels yet, so don't worry about it. Best time is the only time you play the level, so doesn't matter that the time's getting overridden, because the save file has no time to refer to. Personally, find it a bit odd to play at this zoom level. I'm going to move the camera. Mainly because you cannot see the numbers at all when you're that far out. It does work, you can do it if you just want to scrub across the level, but if you're actually looking for the numbers you're colouring in, then you need to get a better camera angle. Speaking of camera angles, we are playing with the idea of adding some sort of free look camera, just so you can actually look around the structures you create. Not so much an issue with this volcano world, or the medieval world for that matter. We have a cityscape level, you see it in the list. I was going to show it in the menu, wasn't I? You can see in the list of upcoming worlds with the game. With the skyscrapers. Quite like the idea of being able to move around and look through the windows and stuff of the buildings you create. So if we're going to add more worlds that are quite vertical, or have a quite intricate sort of interiors, having that free look camera might be a good addition for sure. Again, it's not a full commitment to that yet. Obviously, still got more important things we're working on, but that's something we do have on the back burner as an idea we can look into for sure. Random off-topic question there, Rob. Do you know what time that post office shuts? Across the road?
You'll be alright.
I haven't had a notification that's been delivered yet, to be fair.
No, it has to stay there overnight as well, I think.
Oh, busy tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure it's like 6 or something. I'll have a look. Yeah, Jackson's street closes at 6, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Or if you get a notification that's been delivered today.
Oh, is this for your Warhammer?
It is, yeah. I've been checking the raw mail tracking all day. Hasn't been updated yet. It says 6 o'clock this morning. It's ready for delivery today. That's it. Again, referring back to when we were first playtesting some of these levels that were created in the early stages of the game development or the prototyping. This level here has actually had the fewest iterations done to it. Just because sort of, I think it was one of the last ones that were made. Maybe, I don't think not sure on that actually, but this was one of the fields where a lot of detail was added to the level throughout. So it was a good example as a basis of make more levels in the same vein as this one. So all these pillars have a nice bit of detail going up. The snake itself is a good addition to filling in the gap between the pillars of this temple sort of building. And the fact it's a bit overgrown, you've got these nice big flowers in the middle, we have vines I think further up as well. It just adds so much more to the level as opposed to just making everything the same colour. And you know, although it might look nice if everything's the same colour, you do notice it when you're playing the levels, on some of the previous ones when there's no variation in the blocks you're colouring in. So yeah, this is a good early example of what sort of level feel we want to achieve. Yeah, we're excited to see the end result of the next fest. So again, thanks to everybody who has supported us throughout the next fest and prior and afterwards, hopefully. Thank you to everybody who has wishlisted the game, checked it out. But for one, I'm excited to look at the graphs and stuff at the end of the next fest. You do see the nice changes in sort of acceleration of wish lists and stuff like that. So thanks everyone for your interest in playing the game and trying out the demo. Make sure you share it with all your friends or your family, because any sort of wish list we can get does help. Yeah, the graph is already crazy. Thank you to everyone who's found the game via Coloring Pixels. That was where most of the most of the interest came from initially, I believe. But of course, thanks to everybody who's found the game and has shown interest in what we're developing. Really helps us on a day-to-day sort of basis. And again, a very open book when it comes to development as well. We are interested in all your feedback, all your suggestions. So if you play the demo or even just watch people playing it like ourselves or other streamers or whatever, if you've got any feedback, any suggestions, any likes, dislikes, good, bad, whatever, please let us know. Either drop a comment in the Steam forum, set a little discussion, or you can jump in our Discord and chat with us directly there as well. We have dedicated channels to all our games, Coloring Voxels included, so you can give us feedback or suggestions or any sort of thoughts and opinions you have regarding the game so far. Feel free to let us know. We're very open to that sort of stuff. So yeah, please get involved and share your thoughts. So I idly picked this level. I think this is the plain level. And if it is, I quite like this one as well for that particle effects. I think what makes this one stand out more to me is the fact that the particle effects are so much different to the rest of them. The rest of the particle effects in this level or this world are all related to the actual like natural occurrence of the world. So we have the river splashes, which we'll see here as well, hopefully. We have the tree leaves, and we have the volcano actually erupting. But this one is sparks and smoke from the plane itself, and it stands out because it's so different to all the other effects. And I think having that difference just adds so much to the actual overall feel of the air. When I'm building this river, I'm thinking this might not be the plane crash, this might be the hut. We'll see. We'll get to if this isn't the plane, we'll get to it eventually. And you'll see what I'm referring to. Yeah, more colouring in the more I'm thinking this is the hut, just because of the shape of the river. There's no room for the plane to be here. Maybe there's the plane, we'll see. We have a hole here, is this intentional? Oh, maybe it is the plane crash, because there's all the I don't remember a plane crash being right in the middle of the river. I guess it always has been. Okay. The plane is, I think, the only level on this world that has actual transparent blocks as well. I guess we've got the smoke actually on top of the volcano, that's semi-transparent. But the windows on the plane are transparent as well. Again, another example of our learning of this game and development. So initially this plane was just a solid block in the middle, but we've added interior, so we've got little seats, just little bits of colour, a little bit of decoration inside the plane as well. Which again, very important, it adds that sort of level of interest to the actual playing of the game as well. You're sort of working out what it is based on what you're colouring at, as opposed to just being a coloured block. And there's the smoke, and now we've got those transparent windows. You can still kind of see inside, and you can see those seats and that decoration inside as well. So it's a good example of what we can do with these sort of tools we've given ourselves. So yeah, we can for sure make more levels with windows, and then you can have a little peer inside and just sort of look what's going on through the windows, even though you know what's inside, you just built it yourself, but you can get that sort of third person view and have a little a good little panoramic look around. And against all there was the smoke and the sparks as well. And because it's such a different particle effect, that stands out quite a lot on the main menu, I find. There we go. Yeah, if you go back to the main menu here, you can, as this spins round, the plane stands out quite a lot, just based on the difference of the particle effect over there. So you can sort of, even though it's right in the middle, sort of blocked by some of the exterior or the stuff on the outskirts, you can still easily see the plane. Scale of that plane and those seats make me realise these birds are huge, but again, it's just a bit of creative freedom with the levels we're making here. Only a few left. We'll try and beat some of Jack's time again. So Bush is 2:57. Remember that. I'll probably forget by the time this finishes, but 2:57 is the time to beat. I'm sure I mentioned previously, but each world is going to be 16 levels. Did open up an interesting discussion the other day about if we follow the same patterns we do with Coloring Pixels, we always do a advent book for Coloring Pixels, and that's always 24. So if we do follow that same pattern, we're going to have to try and work out how to fit 24 into the world as opposed to 16, or do we just do a 16 countdown? Do we even do an advent? Again, it's all questions that we can answer in the future. It's a future problem, but for now it's certainly an interesting thought. Exactly the point, yeah, 24 might not fit the circle. If we start playing around with layering multiple things or resizing the boxes, that's going to have knock-on effects to all the previous stuff, so it's a big question mark. Don't see why we couldn't just do a 16-day countdown. I mean, it's not as exciting as an advent, but still an effective one. You're still counting down. Disgusting, yeah. I swear when I was younger, there was always advents that had 25 days as opposed to 24. And you always think they were the better ones, just because you get the one extra chocolate. But it kind of defeats the purpose. You don't need to count down to Christmas on Christmas Day itself, yeah. The other themes, I'm sure Jack will be rubbing his hands with the thought of making a Halloween world for sure. You can get as creative as you like with that, get that as spooky and as seasonal as possible. Simple little level, just some bushes. Again, same issue with the berries are made of water, but jelly berries. That's an easy fix. I did beat Jack's time, it was 2:57, 1:38. Knocked a good minute on a bit off that. Not really rushing to finish the levels, but probably the subconscious part of me trying to beat the time that I read. Yeah, I know we've got the wording there, best time as well. I believe in Coloring Pixels it just shows the previous time that I took to complete the level. I don't think it records best time, so if you play again and take longer, then that, you know, it's not a problem. The time is just saved as is. Where's this last number 1? Am I missing it? Hello. There it is. Zoom in a bit and you can see the effect of the grayed out text a bit better. Yeah, with this game I think we've noticed with Coloring Pixels there is a bit of a speedrunning community. Also carried across a little bit to Loop, I believe. So just sort of supporting that small side of the community. I think it's an easy job for Rob adding the best time tracker instead as well, and that should encourage, if not help, all those who do like to speedrun our little basic games. Yeah, they're all meant to be relaxing and something you can unwind to, but there's nothing stopping you putting that extra pressure on yourself to get it done quickly if you want to, you know, beat those challenges that people set themselves. The one I'm setting myself to be Jack's time, even though this level's taking too long already. Again, just to reiterate, the game Coloring Voxels is going to be fully releasing in August. It's on the anniversary of Coloring Pixels. It feels fitting to do the sequel to Coloring Pixels on its anniversary, so that's the date we set ourselves to release Coloring Voxels. Again, you've got until the end of Next Fest, which ends on Monday, to play the demo if we want to give it a try before playing the full release in a couple of months' time. But yeah, if not, there's not that long to wait. All you do is add the game to your wishlist and you'll be notified with all the development news, as well as being notified when the game actually comes out as well for you to download and play for free in August. And as I said earlier as well, this is the last time we'll be live for the Next Fest. We're not going to be, there will be restreams, sort of like rebroadcasting the reruns over the weekend, but we won't actually be physically live on Steam over the weekend or for the rest of the Next Fest. So yeah, now's your last chance to ask any questions whilst we're still live. If not, make sure you join us on Discord or other social medias where we do respond to any questions we get as well. So yeah, if you do have any questions you think of after the stream and you want to sort of ask the devs and or share your opinion, yeah, feel free to do so. We're very open to discussion. And the links to the Discord and social media should be just down below on the store page here as well. I think we're getting to the end of this world again. We've got the lion level, I think got the hut and one more maybe, tortoise level. And that'll be the volcano world playthrough again. Oops. Yeah, we've got the tortoise and the hut. I think I prefer the hut level, just aesthetically myself. So we'll do the tortoise one first and we'll leave the hut till last. Nothing wrong with the tortoise level, of course, it's just I like the look of the hut level, just because it's got that, similar to the bridge level, it's got that verticality, you can see inside the little windows, it's got a roof on the top. To me that just adds an extra level of interest for what I'm playing. So, well, the animals are all very cute as well, for sure. keep saying I'll show off the names of the world we're committing to on the main menu, and I keep forgetting to show it off. So we'll probably finish up with that when we finish up the hut level. We can have a look at the main menu and we'll go over yeah, what worlds you can expect with the release of the game. Whilst talking about the worlds that are going to be included in the game, one thing you may have noticed whilst we were playing this week, you know, we had this volcano level, we had the medieval world and the dungeon world. They're all at about the same sort of scaling. Obviously not life-size scaling, but everything's scaled down a little bit, so you've got enough detail to see what's going on, but it's still small enough that we can fit a lot in there. We do have the idea that we're going to play around with the scaling of some of the worlds as well. I think in the chat of Hybrid was mentioning about doing a large sort of fruit bowl level, that sort of stuff. That's certainly something we're going to take on board, is making levels that are scaled down and making levels that are scaled up as well. So sort of, I think we're going to use, I think the kids sort of thing, or the grounded game series where everything's giant and your little character. That's something we're going to do as well. Just make levels that are much more scaled up, so we can do that extra bit of fine detail as opposed to doing a tortoise at this sort of scale, for example. And in reverse as well, doing the other way around. We have a planetarium level over there. I'll talk about that more once we get to the end of the hut level. But that is yeah, that'll be at a different scale. Obviously, in order to fit whole planets into a scene, it'll be scaled down as well from what we're seeing here. And hopefully we're thinking that again we'll know more once the levels have been made and we'll play test them, but we're thinking that the different scaling of the different worlds will add that extra level of interest to those worlds as well. That'll sort of break up the expectation of what you're expecting when making or cluing in these levels. So you're seeing some of the medieval and dungeon levels if you were to play back some of the streams from yesterday. There's bits of furniture like bookcases and stuff on them, but those books are just a couple of blocks. It adds enough texture and detail for the purpose of those worlds. But if we want to add extra detail onto those bookcases, onto that sort of furniture, we would need more blocks to play around with. So yeah, playing around with the scale is definitely an exciting concept that we can delve into and see what we can create. Is this meant to be a hole under the house? Is this listed somewhere before? Oh wait, I've just got naughty in. So I'll add it. Hole under house? Question mark. I feel that's been noted down before, but just in case, we'll put it there again. Yeah, I mentioned before we have the YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to and follow along with the development week by week. We do weekly devlogs. And a bit of a spoiler for next week's video is Rob's been working on an editor for actually importing levels into the game. So previously shown off that right now, if we need to make a change to a single level in a whole world, so for example, if we want to fill this hole in this house level, we would need to re-import everything for the volcano level. Every single level will need to be re-imported, repositioned, and it's such a big task, and it's very time consuming and it's inefficient. So Rob was working on an editor so we can individually change one level at a time without affecting the whole world. At least that's the idea anyway, so that's what he's working on. That's why he was saying he's broken everything, because he's had to sort of undo a lot of the work to put room for this editor. But yeah, if you were to check out the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the behind the scenes of that as well, as of next week anyway, for that specific task. But yeah, you can see the behind the scenes and sort of challenges and that we get every week and how we overcome them, that sort of stuff. again, that's just because as a development company we like to be as transparent as possible. See how many voxels each colour has now? Oh, do you mean for this bit? In the editor anyway. Yeah, as a company we like to be as transparent as possible with our player base, so you can literally see what we're doing each week, to be reassured that, you know, we are still working on the games or whatever may be happening. So yeah, make sure you join our socials, our Discord, our YouTube, as well as Withslist in the game, if you want to stay up to date with all the development process. Getting to the end of this hut level. I was going to say, well, I finished, I'll have a little look around, but I finished the level. Got a nice little buried treasure under the house. I say little, it's quite large actually. And yeah, there's the house again. Little slats in the window you can see inside. It adds the shading as well. Obviously, you get the shadows getting put in real time as you colour in. You sort of, as you're watching the ground, you'll see the shadows appear, and that happens during the gameplay as well, not just during this animation. We'll see it again. There you go, little shadows appeared as well. You get that shading inside as well from the from what's above. That, I think that for me, that's what makes those levels more interesting to play. Is just the layering and the shading and all that stuff, because I didn't actually playing, which is very interesting, very fun. So yeah, that's the volcano level played through a second time there. If you like what you see, make sure you've wishlisted the game, as I said before. As I was saying time and again on the screen, just there. There we go. Make sure you wishlist the game. That's the best way to help us out. I was saying we'll have a little look at, we can't click on these, but these are sort of what you can expect with the release of the game. So we've got the volcano world, the medieval and the dungeon world. We're showing off a little bit on stream as well. The dungeon was still a work in progress. Jack's been working on that today, I believe, yesterday. And then we have a city world, which I think there's some stuff in some of the devlogs. You can have a bit of a sneak peek on that. It's just sort of a great big city, so skyscrapers, banks, parks. Just playing around with what we can create. And then the planetarium is what we've sort of committed to this week as well, which is what I was saying with the different scaling. Having a level that's sort of like a solar system. It might be fantastical, we don't know yet, but it's going to be of a different scale. We can create the planets from the inside out, create the core of the planet, the atmosphere, all that sort of stuff. And then we've got two more that we haven't committed to just yet. TBC, to be continued, TBA, to be announced, to be confirmed. Either way, we do have 7, will be 7 in total, but these last 2 themes are to be sort of confirmed. So I think we were saying either in the chat here or in the Discord that we are considering one of these being scaled down, like the grounded sort of shrunken garden sort of thing, so we'll have like a bigger scale. And then the last one, who knows, if you've got any ideas, let us know. We're open to suggestions. But yeah, you can expect 7 worlds, ideally all in around 2 hours worth of playtime, so you need to get the game for free in August. You can expect a full game to play with lots of interesting details, as well as new game plus replayability, all that sort of stuff getting added as well. Exactly the same as Coloring Pixels. So yeah, as always, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for everyone who has wishlisted the game so far. If you haven't, you can still do so. Try out the demo if you haven't as well. The demo is going to be live until Monday. And if you want to continue playing after Next Fest, make sure you follow us on Patreon as well, because our Patreons get access to the early access to the game, and you'll be able to play all the iterations of all the levels we make up until the release in August as well. So yeah, lots to do, but you can follow along from now up until release and stay in the know with everything that's being made. So yeah, thanks again for stopping by for the stream. You can watch all the reruns on YouTube, as well as over the next couple of days on Steam here as well. And yeah, we're going to the end credits, and last call to action again, wishlist the game. It's the best you can do to help us out, and thank you very much.